There's something hospice nurses don't always talk about publicly, but they talk about it quietly among themselves. Right before someone dies, many patients begin seeing people who aren't in the room. They talk to them, they reach for them, they smile at them, and almost always, they say they see someone who has already passed away: a mother, a spouse, a child, sometimes multiple people. And here's the strange part: these patients often seem calm, even peaceful. Today we're asking, what are deathbed visions? Are they hallucinations? Maybe medication effects? Or is something else happening in those final hours? Now let's get into it. Deathbed visions are reported experiences where dying individuals see deceased loved ones, speak to people not physically present, describe rooms or environments others can't see, suddenly become peaceful before death. Hospice nurses report this often, very often. It's not rare, it's common. That alone makes it worth discussing. Many hospice workers say patients will suddenly look past family members and say, "Mom is here," or "Dad's waiting," or "They're telling me it's time." Sometimes they reach upward. Sometimes they extend their arms as if greeting someone. What's striking is this: these episodes often happen when patients are lucid, not confused, not heavily sedated. Lucid. That's what unsettles people. Possible scientific explanations include low oxygen to the brain, end of life delirium, medication side effects, neurological shutdown, REM intrusion into a waking state. The brain under stress can produce vivid imagery. When oxygen drops, perception changes. The brain may access long term emotional memory. And who are the strongest emotional memories? Loved ones, especially those who have already passed. From a neurological standpoint, it makes sense, but that doesn't explain everything. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Deathbed visions often follow similar patterns. The deceased appears healthy. They are described as peaceful. The patient reports reassurance. The patient becomes calm afterward. Many hospice workers report that patients who were agitated for days suddenly become serene after a vision. Sometimes they even regain clarity for a short time before passing. That phenomenon is sometimes called terminal lucidity. How does a failing brain suddenly become clear? Science is still exploring that. This isn't new. Ancient texts describe the dying seeing guides. In many cultures, the dead come to escort the living. In Tibetan traditions, transitional states are expected. In Christian tradition, angels or loved ones appear. In indigenous traditions, ancestors guide the journey. This belief is global, not isolated. That consistency matters. Shared deathbed experiences. Now, this is rare, but documented. Sometimes family members report sensing something in the room: a shift, presence, a feeling of someone else there. Shared experiences are harder to explain neurologically, but they are reported quietly, often hesitantly. Psychological versus spiritual. Now, let's hold both sides. Psychology says the brain creates comforting imagery during shutdown. Spiritual belief says loved ones come to guide the transition. Both explanations offer peace. And maybe that's the key. At the end of life, the brain may prioritize comfort, or maybe consciousness opens to something we don't understand yet. We don't have definitive proof either way, but the patterns are undeniable. Death is universal, but how we leave matters to us. If deathbed visions are neurological, they are beautiful neurological events. If they are spiritual, they are compassionate ones. Either way, they are not usually frightening, they're peaceful. That alone changes the narrative around dying, wouldn't you say? Before we close this door today, think about this. In the final hours of life, even when everything physical is shutting down, the most common reported experience is not fear, it's reunion. Not darkness, but recognition. Whether the brain creating comfort, or that's the brain creating comfort, or something reaches across a threshold, we don't know. But what we do know is so many people describe the same thing: seeing someone who loved them, waiting. And maybe that's the most comforting mystery of all. If you've ever witnessed a deathbed vision or experienced one with a loved one, share your story, because these conversations matter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and as always, here on the Crypt Door Podcast, we open doors most people are afraid to approach. And I'll see you on the other side of the next one.